If I sound a little crabtree or crabby, or if I get a little riled up, blame my co-host.
That's what I'm good for.
I think he does this type of stuff on purpose. Gets me all riled up, and then okay, let's start the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my
Throws you off your game a little bit.
no. It just I don't. Okay, yeah, it probably does.
Just a little.
Probably does. Just a little. But you came on here and you sent me the link to this video, and it was we were talking about how people our age say our era of basketball was better than what the typical basketball debates, and some of the stuff he was telling me. Sometimes you
Hey, listen.
just gotta stop the truth in the people.
In all seriousness, if anybody wants, who's our age, wants to get just, so frustrated and aggravated that your head's going to explode over listening to some Gen Z people out there talk basketball, let me know. I'll get you a link.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. If you want to, as the kids say, if you want those crash out people where you want to throw your stuff and crack your phone and all, don't do it. Don't look at the link. You don't look at the link. It might make, if you got kids, it might make you slap shit out of one of your kids. I don't know.
It might.
Oh no, Front Row Wrestling Podcast. I am Mr. Cass. That is Chris. We here tonight to review Saturday night's main event, which apparently was full of surprises that the experts didn't call, because I didn't hear nobody saying Jeff Cobb was. I mean, not Jeff Cobb, but Bronson Reed was coming back.
Dude, I thought he was still out hurt.
He's been gone since what, Survivor Series last year?
Quite a while.
Yeah, it's about time. He was due to come back, but at some point, around this time. So, but he came back, and he's now aligned with Seth Rollins, and I'm not calling him the new Evolution. You told me what you wanted to see, what name you wanted them to go by.
I mean, it's not my choice. I mean, it's not my thing I came up with. I heard somebody else say it, but they said they thought that the name Revolution would be better because, Seth Rollins calls himself the Revolutionary, and it's maybe like a throwback to Evolution. You know how much he likes Triple H, and, he to the point where he uses the pedigree sometimes still. So, I mean,
I'm all for going that route. I just don't want to be reminded that it's like Evolution.
I don't think they need to copy anything in any way. Just be their own group and do what they're doing, because keep treating it like what Seth Rollins does, since he's a revolutionary and he's bringing the revolution. Go ahead and treat it that way in the same style of what he's doing, not what you've seen Evolution doing as a group coming up, or what like you mentioned earlier. Don't be like a Four Horsemen. Don't be like an NWO. Don't be like a DX. Be your own persona at that point.
Let's just throw this out there. Maybe they're not going the Evolution Four Horsemen route where they're just stopping at 4 people. Could there be somebody else?
Yeah, there could.
Could there be somebody after that?
Well, so far we got, if you think about it, we don't have 4 people yet. We have 3.
Exactly.
You can't count Heyman.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm still a fan of the thought of having a modern day Dangerous Alliance.
So honestly, we would have to need what, 2 more people for that?
And that would be in Dangerous Alliance. You had Bobby Eaton, Arn Anderson, Larry Zbyszko, Steve Austin, Rick Rude. There's 5 there.
And then they had Medusa. Wasn't it? What?
Had Medusa at one point, I think, was in there. Yeah, so that would have been 6 total. So I mean, they can still bring in Becky Lynch. They can still bring her in you'd have a female wrestler in the group.
So who are 2 other guys you would, if they are going that route, who are the 2 other guys you would put in there?
You're going to laugh at me on one of them, but I mean, they could make something out of him if they really try, and they wanted to at one point, I think. They were starting to try to push him a little bit, but throw Austin Theory back in there. You see him and Grayson Waller having trouble. I mean, take him and throw him in there in the mix and bring him up.
That's not a bad move.
And a lot of people would hate me for this for sure, but throw Mr. YouTube in there.
I don't think he fits that.
He doesn't really fit it so much, but I mean, he's the kind of young talent.
You got to
be on top of it that they're looking. You
Braun. You got Braun's a badass. Bronson Reed, badass. I wouldn't call Seth Rollins a badass, but he fits because it's his group. Then you
Well, it's like
throw,
Austin Theory. I would say Austin Theory is one
but
either, but I mean,
you
he
can
can be up and coming though.
you can turn him into one. I can see
Yeah,
him becoming one. I can't see Logan Paul doing that, bro.
I don't know. It's just a name that come to
I
mind when
don't.
I was thinking about it. Because to me, I was thinking if I was to throw Austin Theory, why not throw somebody else young like that out there? And he's one of the most up and coming kind of young ones that they like to put out there in front of people. So
I think him being an asshole unto himself fits him perfectly.
I tell you who I don't want to see. I don't want to
L-
see Sami Zayn.
L.A. I thought you were gonna say L.A. Knight because nobody
Well,
wants to
no,
see
they
L.A.
wouldn't. They wouldn't put LA Knight in that anyway because
No,
that's really not.
no, well,
A big,
nobody wants to see him anyway. So
well, they do. I mean,
they
except for the
don't.
people that stand up there and yeet all night. I mean,
No, they don't. It's a fan. Look, wrestling is fan participation. We all know this. They
yeah,
get the thing when you do it
yeah,
every night, yeah, and then no one after
yeah,
that they don't. After that, no one cares.
yeah.
No one cares after that. Yeet. No
What
one
do
cares.
you yeet?
Does L.A. Knight get his music replayed?
It doesn't matter if you get your music replay. It doesn't matter if you walk down
No,
through
it
the
doesn't
crowd
matter.
and throw your hands up
No, it
and down,
doesn't matter.
wave your hands in the air like you don't care. It doesn't
I
matter
bet
what
you.
they do, man.
I bet you.
It
It bet
doesn't
you it
make a
matters to.
difference.
It matters. It matters when them checks come in. It
It
matters.
when the checks when he gets his check,
All
I'm
right.
sure he's happy. Yeah, but if I mean let's be honest, whether it be LA Knight or Jey Uso, either one, when it comes to memorable world champions, neither one of them would be in that category anyway.
I think Jey Uso would be more memorable than LA Knight.
I'm
Only because
saying
of the
I'm saying neither
and I would
one
say
of
it's
them.
and I'm saying Jey Uso more so LA Knight because everybody would remember Yeet. No one's gonna remember. Yeah.
Are
It's
they
too
gonna
much
remember
it's too
Yeet
much
as a great? Are they gonna remember him as a great champion, or just gonna remember him because he danced to the ring and yelled Yeet?
it's gonna be the era of Yeet.
Oh my
They're
god,
gonna remember the era of
you
Yeet.
are hopeless. You're like them Gen Z people
I'm
talking to the
just telling
OG
you,
guy in
look,
basketball.
I live in a world of facts.
You live in a world of
You live in a
you
world
live in
of
a world of I don't know what it is at this point. It is not all facts.
I live in a world of facts. You live in a world of
You live
wish.
in a world of sales. That's what you live in because you think if he sells t-shirts and glasses and he gets people to dance in the crowd, you think that makes a great thing.
what are we in business for?
Oh well, we ain't in business for nothing. We're podcasting.
Well, what are they in business for then?
Oh, they in business to make money.
Exactly.
Did they not make money during the Attitude Era?
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Doing some shit some stuff I didn't like, they made money off of. But
Well, see,
I will never defend anybody's ability to rake in on something, which brings me to another point. I know we're gonna get into this Saturday Night's Main Event review. Did you see that they're going back to Vegas next year, or supposedly going back to Vegas next year?
I did read something about that the other day. Yes. I
You
don't.
know why?
I
Right?
no. Matter of fact, I think you're the one to send it to me.
You know why, right?
Okay. So I don't remember reading the whole article. I think I read something about New Orleans, and they were gonna go to New Orleans, but now that's canceled.
They announced it. Remember, Rock announced it in February that they were going to New Orleans.
All
But
right. So
so here's my not going by what people say and not going by what people think. I've heard everything, so everything. I got an opinion because, again, I live in facts, and more importantly, I live in common sense. They've been to New Orleans before for WrestleMania. Was it WrestleMania 30? Right?
yeah.
I'm assuming they did well, right? But you fast forward to now, and see what they did a couple of months ago, WrestleMania 42. They made a killing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why would you not go back? And on top of that, it's a place where you can do more things.
If
A
I'm a
lot of
fan who had money to go to it, I
you
might
going to
be
Vegas.
disappointed. But I'm
Yeah,
not. Well, I'm not gonna travel. I'm not gonna travel outside my town to go to a WrestleMania. I'm not.
I
I'm
mean,
not.
a grumpy
But
old guy. We know grumpy old guy's not going anywhere,
well,
right?
are you doing it? Are you going to Vegas to go watch it?
If
Is the
if I had
average
if I had
person,
the if I had the means to do so, I would.
but is the average person going to travel to Vegas to watch WrestleMania? I'm
No,
not saying that it's a
no.
bad thing they're going to
But
be in Vegas by any means. I'm not saying that.
here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. You go to New Orleans. Let's say you go to New Orleans on the strength of I can get a cheap ticket. Prices drop. I can catch one on one of these apps, and boom, right? You go there on the strength of I can do that, but that doesn't happen. What are you going to do in New Orleans at 10 o'clock at night?
I'll tell you what they do in New Orleans all day long and all night long.
At 10,
They drink on Bourbon Street.
I mean, where they do, but at certain times, but this is New
and
Orleans.
and
At a
and
certain time, everything shuts down.
yeah, I mean they.
At a,
I
or Mardi Gras, that's different. But we're not talking about
yeah,
Mardi Gras. We're talking
I
about
don't. Like
WrestleMania.
I said, I don't particularly care that they're not going back to Orleans. I said Orleans to New Orleans. I don't really particularly care that they're not going there. I don't care if they're going back to Vegas. That's fine if that's what they want to do. They could make it the permanent home of WrestleMania if they want to.
That's what I'm getting to. No, but before that, but again, you go there on the strength of I might get a ticket, and it doesn't happen. You can get what you can. There's other stuff to do in Vegas outside of
I
WrestleMania. There's other stuff to do,
I still
right?
wouldn't do it as an average
I'm not.
person. I
I'm not.
wouldn't
I'm
do it.
not. I'm not. I'm not. We're not the average guy, Chris. We all know this. You
I am the above average guy.
I wasn't about to
Can
say
we
that. I
can
was
we just
not about to say that.
hold up?
I'm
Can
not
we
going to
just
say that.
take a moment to acknowledge our chat? Julie Bailey is in Facebook in the chat with us, Lost, and she has been to WrestleMania. Apparently, she would love to go again if she had the money. Now, I don't know if she'd go all the way to Vegas to watch it or not,
She
but
would.
probably so. But I mean, I don't know her, but I'm assuming maybe. Who knows? But I don't think the everyday average person is going to make that kind of road trip unless, like you said something before, they've saved up for a few years. It's a chance of a lifetime thing
Again,
for them,
here's
and they're
why I
going to
said the
make a
average person
memory
would
and
go to
go.
Vegas. Like
But
I
it
said,
can't happen every year, though. I mean,
the average person would go to Vegas because, like I said, if on the strength you're hoping to get a cheap ticket and that don't happen, there's other stuff to do. There's things open. Whereas in New Orleans, things are shutting down at 12, 1 o'clock at night. Vegas is 24 hours a day, brother.
see, the way I'm not trying to counter you in any way in this argument. Like I said, I don't care where they
Really?
hold it.
Really?
But well, no, I'm throwing scenarios out there. I don't care where they have it on a yearly basis. If they want to have it in Sedan every year, I don't really give a crap. But the thing is, the way they've always done it by moving it from city to city in different places, it's like you're giving the average fan a chance to maybe go there and go to WrestleMania if it's in their town or within a couple hours drive to them or something, versus having it only in Vegas and you're a fan in New York City or you're a fan living in Miami or you're a fan living in Seattle. Maybe you don't want to make that length of a trip going there to go see it, and it's still fair for the others when it comes closer to their town. And let's face it, WrestleMania sells out wherever they go. Wherever they go, it sells out.
You
So,
said
I
something.
mean,
So
the fact that there's more to do in
I'm gonna use
Vegas, you're
I'm gonna
right.
use
There's
what you
more to
said
do
to
in
drive
Vegas.
my
Dude,
point.
you're right.
I'm gonna, I'm gonna use what you said to drive my point. You said that they go from they might you don't care if they make it a permanent thing, right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing: everybody's clamoring for this WrestleMania Hall of Fame. They want a real. It's not real because they don't have a real building. They can put that in Vegas. Fan access again. It's a 24-hour time. It's a lot of stuff to do. You can implement WrestleMania or WWE stuff. They could be not necessarily that restaurant they did tried to do a couple of years ago or 20 years ago, whatever. Not necessarily that, but there's some places or things you can turn into attractions. They have this sphere out there. You can do wrestling shows in the sphere. There's a lot of things that draw people to Vegas outside of WrestleMania. But then you add that there 2 or 3 times a year. They go somewhere else and they come back 2 or 3 times. Then they go up somewhere else and they come back to it. Again, you build a Hall of Fame or whatever you build attractions. That could be that they can
Let me
WrestleMania.
ask. So let me
WWE
ask
wrestling.
you a question based on that. Then, like you said, they could make a building for the Hall of Fame there. They could do
Yeah.
all these things you're talking about. So, do you, as a business who is in business to make money, do
Mhm.
you want to alienate a part of your, fan
But
base?
I don't. I don't think
because
they I don't think
you're
they
only
alienate them though.
in that one city, and a lot of them may not be able to make that trip when they want
But
to or something.
you got to look at it this way: they every WWE's what it's called New York, right? New York was their main city, right? So now it's just reversed. Did
But
they
you don't like
alienate?
Madison Square Garden, like
Yeah,
you're talking about
Madison
like that.
Square Garden, or they like I said, they built that WWE New York, the restaurant they built up there 20 years ago, almost 30 years ago. Um, it was New York. So did they alienate the West Coast? Because a lot of people weren't trying to make that trip across country either.
Well, it's a restaurant. I mean, it's not
Well,
WrestleMania.
anyway, well, if they put WrestleMania in Madison Square Garden every year, does that alienate the West Coast?
Yes, because
Then people
they're
will
probably
travel.
not going to make that trip across country to go watch it. Versus
Here-
if
here-
they have it in LA
Here's
one
the
year
thing.
or they
But
have
they
it
only,
in Vegas.
but if okay, WrestleMania's in Las Vegas every year. You only got to go once. You ain't got to
Right?
go every year, bro.
Can you make a big trip like that every year personally?
If they came out and said WrestleMania is going to be in Las Vegas for the next 10, 15 years, why
Yeah.
can't I take 2 years and say, okay, I know it's going to be in Vegas just like they do it. People are already saving up to go to WrestleMania no matter where it's at anyway.
Right, but you're already going to pay a bunch of money
So
for the
so
tickets
so
and
so,
and
so
whatever. So I mean,
let's just get that up. They sell out every year, no matter where they are. So they're going.
yeah,
Some people are saving. As soon as they announced WrestleMania was in New Orleans, people started planning to go to New Orleans.
right. And
Right. Yeah.
it could have been
So
people in Atlanta.
it
It
could
could
have
have
been
been
people.
people in Nashville.
But we
It
all
could have
know
been people in St.
But
Louis.
we all know a big percentage of WrestleMania crowd is not people from the city.
So you're telling
Come
me
on, 'cause people,
you're
everybody,
saying
people.
the average
I'm telling you,
fan is going to save up
but
money
I'm
every
telling you,
year and
we're
fly
talking.
to Vegas
We're not
and watch
again.
WrestleMania.
You keep saying the average fan. You talking about one person doing it multiple years? No, you only got to do it once. If I'm the average fan and I can go and again, if I know WrestleMania is going to be in Las Vegas for the next 10, 15 years, why I can't take 2, 3 years to save up the money to go to WrestleMania because I know where it's going to be.
I don't know. I mean, I'll agree to
So I
disagree
only
with you on it.
you keep saying the average fan is going to go every year. The average fan is not going to WrestleMania every year anyway.
No, they're
They're only
not.
going once. They're only
Right.
going once. So
But
what difference does it make
you're
if it's
missing
there?
my complete total point of
I
being
must be
convenient
because convenient to who? If you're
to
traveling
people who
anyway,
might want to go. If
if you're
you're in Baltimore, if you're in
they,
Baltimore and you want to go
you
and
only
they're
got to
gonna
do it once. If they're going to be there every year, you only got to do it once. I don't care if I'm in Baltimore or I don't
maybe
care
the
if I'm in
person who goes to
California.
watch it once wants to watch it twice. They want to watch it 3 times. If it's within
Okay,
a
well, okay,
4-hour driving
again,
distance of somebody and they want to
again,
go every year
again,
based on that,
okay. If you say Baltimore, right? Where were the last 4 WrestleManias?
I can't remember. I know
Philly,
Vegas.
Vegas, Philly. Where was it at before that? Was it California?
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay.
I don't go to them personally, so I don't care where they have them at. But that's just my opinion of it. Not caring where it's
But
at.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about you. Talking about the average fan. WrestleManias. I should have put locations. That would have been.
Yeah, Julie, I think they did in WrestleMania 1. They had different cities where they had closed circuit TV up
Right.
where you could watch it there.
And there were fans in both. I mean, at all three.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Maybe they should go back to doing something like that again. Have it in Vegas every single year, but maybe set yourself up in some places like Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, for example, because I know the name of the place. What's the place in New Orleans they were going to have it at? What stadium was that in or arena?
Superdome.
Superdome. All right, Superdome. Set up things in the Superdome. The place in New Jersey that I like to go to, the Barclay Center or whatever.
I'm going to your thing. You said the average fan. You said the guy from Baltimore, right? The last 4 WrestleManias was in Las Vegas, Philadelphia, California, and Texas. The guy from Baltimore would have had the closest one to him would have been Philadelphia. So you mean to tell me?
I threw
he wants to go
Baltimore out there as an excuse.
and that's why I'm going on. I'm going off your excuse. I'm going off the one you use. If you had said Texas, I would have went with Texas, but you say Baltimore.
Do you think the people in Dallas were very thankful that Texas had a WrestleMania and that they was close enough to go to?
But guess what? The last time they were in Texas was 6 years before that, or 5 years before that.
Yeah, because they made it fair going around the country to other places for
Okay,
other
so
fan base
again,
there to come to it.
so whether they're going around the country, it's not guaranteed it's going to be within driving distance for the next 5 years, no matter where they put it at. Okay,
No, but you're
so
still
again,
guaranteed to sell out. So what difference does it make if there's a nightlife in Vegas when it comes to
right,
WrestleMania?
because if you're one of the, because this is what actually happens. People go without a ticket, hoping to get a last minute
Well,
ticket for a cheaper price.
that's their
Well,
dumb
because it works.
dumb luck.
Well,
I mean,
it works. It's done. That's how people. That's how they filled Vegas. That's how they filled Philadelphia. That's how they
well, great.
filled Pittsburgh.
They can still fill everywhere else then
That
too
happens.
without
That
people
happens
driving across the
exactly.
country.
So again, if I go to Texas and everything in Texas closes at 1, I'm gonna be pissed off. Not only did I not get a ticket, but I ain't got shit to do. But if I go to Vegas and I don't get a ticket, oh, I didn't get a WrestleMania ticket. But there's a lot of other stuff adjacent to WrestleMania. There's a lot of other shows I can catch. There's a lot of things I can do outside of wrestling because Vegas is 24 hours a day.
I think you know ahead of time before you go to Dallas or wherever that there's a chance you won't get in. If you don't get in and you're mad about it, you shouldn't have made the road trip.
Well, that doesn't stop. Look, I didn't say it was the smartest thing. I said it's what people are doing. I never said they were
Well,
geniuses.
I can't help. People are also throwing their hands up in the air and yelling "yeet" every Monday night too. That don't mean they're
Yeah,
smart people either.
they are
I mean,
geniuses.
you know, you're not getting me to break on this one. I'm not.
I'm
I'm
not
not
getting you to
bending on
break,
this one.
but the people tuning in will know where common sense lies, and they will see that I make sense, and you just live and come on the show to agitate the hell out of me.
No, I live to agitate you regardless of coming on the show or not. I mean, do you not wake up in the morning sometimes and you already got a voice message from me talking about stupid stuff?
Yeah, if I weren't a person that had to get up early in the morning for work, I'd be a little bit more mad.
It'd be
It's
just later in the morning for you to get back with me. That's all.
yeah. When you send me the craziest shit about people saying the dumbest shit, I'm like, man, at 6:30 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, really?
You're the one that introduced me to those two people. The one guy that's dumb as can be that we can't stand.
Oh, the
Uh,
two dudes that
yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know, I can't remember their name. I don't know how he gets through life, but I swear, it's a good thing he has a friend
He
who,
said 7-Eleven was a grocery store.
yeah, I just
Anyway,
because they sell food. 7-Eleven's
yeah,
a
because they
grocery.
sell food. It's a no, no, it's a restaurant because they sell food. That's
Yeah,
what it
yeah,
was.
it's a restaurant. Yeah,
It's
I
a
just
restaurant. They have a menu. They have a menu on the wall, don't they?
it's not making it anyway. Let me
So
go.
Saturday
You
night's
already
main
got
event.
yeah, because you can't be pissed. We touched on the first match. Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. They won, defeating Sami Zayn and CM Punk, and they hurt Fragile Phil. Well, I'm not really hurt, but they hurt Fragile Phil. They put him through the barricade. Bronson
Fragile
Reed.
Phil. I love that.
That's Fragile Phil. That's my guy. Fragile Phil. He's fragile emotionally, physically. He's fragile.
Dude, the way he look, I know there's a way they do these things when they land on them when that splash off the road, but the way Bronson Reed, dude, that hurts me looking at it.
It should.
It just
That's
looks like he flattens him like a pancake,
a
right? You know
100
what I
pound
mean?
man falling from the sky. It should hurt. Really, it
Yeah.
really should hurt. Um, we talked about it. I like where they going. I'm interested in see how this is going to play out. If they're going to add new people, if they don't, I'm not mad. If they do, I'm just want to know who. See how it's going to play out. Hopefully, they add somebody who can get the so-called rub. Um, So next match was it Chelsea? No, who was the next match? Was it Chelsea and
I think it was Chelsea Green and
Zelina
oh,
Vega?
Lena Vega. Thank you.
I
Um,
I didn't really pay too much attention to it, but I will say this. You know how you put a match on and you put it and you don't really pay attention to it until the end when people pop forward at the end or whatever.
yeah,
I wasn't paying attention to it, but it kept calling my attention because like the crowd was really enjoying this match.
yeah.
Selena Vega is
It wasn't bad. I mean, Selena Vega's gotten a lot more fun to watch lately.
she's a little small and that kind of throws me off, but she makes it work. She's
Yeah,
very easy on the eyes, so I'll give her that.
yeah.
I'll give
And
her that.
I'm not a big fan of Chelsea. Was
I
Chelsea
think
Green?
She's good. She's good at what she does. I'll give her that.
She is, but I mean, I'm just not a huge fan of her. I mean, I'll watch when she comes out there for sure, but I mean, I'm not a
So
fan of it.
you LA Knight guys have the craziest taste, and I swear, this is why I'm not a fan of LA Knight. He throws off all your other.
You're gonna make me hit the button, ain't you? You're gonna do it. You're gonna make me hit the button.
I hope that button malfunctions, short circuits, all of it.
You just made the list.
There's got to be a way to censor that on my end.
Possibly.
It's got to be. No, but
Yeah,
Zelina,
it was a pretty decent match. That's
she would
what
tell you, you know,
what Julie was saying. It was a pretty decent match. Yeah, it really was.
I wasn't really expecting her to lose the match, to be honest with you.
Hmm?
I wasn't expecting her to lose the match. I didn't think she would lose.
Selena Vega.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting. People were thinking Chelsea Green would get the title back, but I was not. I think Zelina Vega was going to keep it for a little while.
Wait, did I miss something altogether? Did I fall asleep in that match?
Why?
I thought Selena Vega won the match.
I said that. I
So I
said
thought you
people
said,
were. No, people were expecting her to lose and Chelsea to get it back.
I'm
but
sorry. The way I
wasn't
heard
watching
you,
it.
the way
See,
I
it's
heard
that.
it was opposite, and the way when you said, I mean, I was like, wait, did you just say?
See, it's live and in living color. Everybody is
I
saying
just made the list.
how LA Knight is affecting your brain. Stop cheering for this guy, bro. Stop.
I'm sorry. Let me find some goofy ass glasses and yell, "G, meat,
Well,
sleep."
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
No,
I'm not.
neither is anybody else when he comes out to the ring. So anyway,
I'm
next match.
Nobody's going out here yelling meat, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
Next match. Where's Rob at when I want him here? He has bailed on us for like 2 or 3 weeks in a row now. Where's Rob?
I don't know, bro. We're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to put him on part-time pay, bro.
And
next match. Was it John Cena and R-Truth?
I think it was.
Can we just look? I don't. If there's one person anybody's gonna say, well, he never won a title or major title or this and that, the third. I don't give a shit. R-Truth is a Hall of Famer.
He's got to be. I mean,
Whatever they
gotta,
get this man to do, it works.
look. I mean, he may not be like a WWE Hall of Famer. He's a wrestling Hall of Famer for
He's
sure.
a WWE Hall of Famer, bro.
I mean, people are always going to remember him because he's always entertaining. Some people base their people's Hall of Fame careers off how many titles they won, right? But I mean, WWE is not the only place where he wrestled. He has been a champion in other places. He's wrestled. He's been tag champion.
What I'm saying, if he wasn't the first, wasn't he the first TNA champion?
I don't know if he was first or not, but he's been a TNA champion.
Well, take anything away from what he did anywhere else, he's still a WWE Hall of Famer. Still a wrestling Hall of Famer.
People are always going to remember him because of his entertainment factor. He's definitely an entertainer for sure.
He came out to John Cena's music. He did the whole John Cena entrance. He had a John Cena wardrobe on.
Yeah. It said Ron Cena.
Man, look, he earns every bit of his paycheck, bro. Like that was not the best match in terms of in ring or wrestling or whatever, but it was the best match for pure entertainment, bro. It was hilarious. It was great. And, we saw Cena again, and I was not expecting that, but then I wasn't expecting it until I heard the promo he cut in the back. So,
yeah.
So, of course, John Cena won. It was what it was. It was just a fun match. Again, this whole show was.
Well, it's what we called it the other day. You'd see R-Truth come up with some offense, and then Cena would squash it. He'd come back with some offense, and Cena would squash it.
But he was doing John Cena's routine, like the whole 5 moves of doing all that.
Yeah.
Bro.
Slide shoulder block. You can't see me,
dude. That was hilarious. Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre steel cage match. I watched 85% of this match. I had to.
It didn't turn out like we said it would. But
can I say something about this match though? One thing that just irked me during this whole match. Jesse Ventura. sometimes I like he was talking over the entrance, bro. And I
He
knew they
still,
were telling him to shut the fuck up, but he
I
was still
think,
talking.
I think Jesse still thinks he's back in 1980s.
Like Vince ain't back there. You ain't gonna talk back to Vince, bro. These a whole new group of people. Shut up, bro. Like I love Jesse for what he was. People say Jim Ross was the voice of their childhood, or Tony Schiavone was the voice. Neither one of them were the voice of my childhood. Vince, Jesse, Gorilla Monsoon, Bobby Heenan. Those were the voices of my childhood, bro.
See, that's one of the things I told you before. You know, it's all based on where you grow up at. There's a lot of people say Gordon Soley was the voice of their childhood. For me, it was Lance Russell and Dave Brown.
It's where you grew up at, and when you grew up.
Yeah,
Did I watch Tony Schiavone NWA? Yes, I did. I but I lived where we got everything, not just NWA Mid Atlantic. So to the people who live south of North Carolina, yeah, Tony Schiavone is the voice of your childhood because you didn't get what I got. So, um, so yeah, but I liked it, but Jesse just took me out of this match, bro. Like he just took me out of it. I just wished he did like spurts of Jesse is good. Jesse just nonstop talking is just nah.
I thought for a minute that Priest was going to cost himself the match. He was about to walk out of the cage, right, and he stopped on the steps and looked back like he's going to go back and give him some more. And I
Hmm.
thought, oh, he's gonna screw himself over. He's gonna go back in there and try to do some more damage to him. Something's gonna happen where Drew gets him with a claymore or something, and then walks out of the ring himself and wins. I thought for a second that was gonna happen, but then he just kind of waved it off and walked on down and said something about not tonight or not tonight.
Yeah, I think Drew is going to be gone for a little bit too because I think he was. I don't think he got hurt in this match, but he was wrestling hurt. So I'm not sure exactly what exactly his injury is, but and that's good. Take some time off, bro. Like we can't miss you unless you're gone, and too much of anything good is bad. So go. It's the same with in the main event. We got somebody back. Might as well get to it now. Jay Uso, since you want to keep just claiming it, just putting dirt on the good name of Jay Uso. Jay Uso versus Logan Paul, which is I didn't expect Logan Paul to win the title. I thought it might have could have happened at one point, but then common sense came back. Um,
When Cena ran out and interfered,
but,
it kind of made
well,
you
well,
feel
well,
like
not even that. When he did, like I said, when he did a promo, I was like, "Oh shit, is Cena gonna cause him? Like, is this Cena's way of ruining wrestling by putting the world title on a YouTuber just so he can come out and cut a promo like John? Because you can hear the Cena promo. Wrestling is wrong. There's a YouTuber with the world heavyweight champion. How did it get to this? Yeah, this is why I'm leaving. And he's the one to help him do it. So, but Jey Uso, prevailed because Captain American Nightmare showed up, Cody Rhodes, and now all what does it look like? I call them the Cody Crybabies. Now they can shut up. Well, where's
no,
Cody?
LaGreca is a Cody crybaby.
Why he's not back?
Somebody
We
else
haven't
was
seen
calling him
Cody
Cody
since
Crybaby.
WrestleMania. What is next for Cody? Why he not back? What is he gonna do? Shut up! And the man took a vacation. Shut the fuck up. Grown men crying over when another man's coming back on TV. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Can you tell? See how you started this shit. You started this.
You know who I want to see back on TV? I didn't catch this in chat a while ago. I'd like to see little Jimmy back on TV.
Oh God, he's been there the whole time. You just can't see him.
Oh, is he next to Cena? We can't see him either.
Sometimes he's next to Cena. Sometimes he's next to R-Truth.
John or Ron Cena? Which one?
Cena. I thought he was going to remember he did the Mexican Juan Cena.
Yeah.
R-Truth is a goat, bro. R-Truth is a goat.
It,
So
the whole Cody now they're building up to Money in the Bank, And so I guess the big deal is now you're gonna have Cody Rhodes and Jimmy Uso versus Cena and Logan Paul.
which is one of Cena's 27th, 27, or how many's down? He's down to 25 now, right? 20, 25, 24 appearances left. And see this match right here is proving my point. He's going to make appearances, but they're not all going to be title matches. He's
Mhm.
leaving with that belt because they're going to come up with a new belt. They're going to get rid of that WWE belt with the scratch logo on it. I mean, not scratch logo, but with the WWE logo on it. And they're going to, that's their way of, that's the final piece of Vince, that belt. Everything new. They already got a new world title. So now they're going to have a new WWE championship. So
Yeah,
expect a picture of Cena with of that belt on Cena's mantle after he retires,
I can see that.
and then everybody can. Mr. KS, you were right. We're gonna start listening to you because every time you say something, Dan, 99% of the time it happens. So
I
don't
thought they
don't.
were gonna say. I thought they were gonna say that they tuned in because you had a really cool co-host or something. But
Lord have mercy, I swear. Yeah. I understand how Little Richard felt. I
how little
understand.
Richard felt.
I understand how Little Richard felt. I understand how Roddy Dangerfield felt. They never got any respect. I
You get no
understand it.
respect. No respect. I tell you.
They ain't give Roddy no respect. They ain't give Little Richard no credit for nothing. That's crazy.
Take my wife. No, really, take her.
I had one of them days the other day. So yeah, I just like yeah. Well, you're no longer married. I am what they call common law married.
Yeah.
So 2 days, well, 2 times in the last 5 days, I've had one of those take my wife moments. One, she told me. Remember, I told you it was a cookout yesterday. Going to the cookout, I wasn't going to go because she told me, the guy who lives there is going to be at the race car track, and uh, her brother wasn't be working, right? So I was like, well, ain't me go. I'm not going to sit around a house full of women. You and the kids can go. They can play with their cousins. Well, I get a text, not even an hour later. Why are you not coming? What are you talking about? Yeah, this person here, this person here said, man, that's fucked up. You ain't show up. I'm like, didn't you tell me they wasn't gonna be there? Yeah, but they're here now. How the fuck am I supposed to know this? So now I had to go over there.
But
Today, she left and said something to me, and I responded, and she looked at me like I was crazy. Mind you, had roles been reversed, she would have did the same thing and had the same response I had. But because I said it, I'm the asshole. Take my wife, please.
take no seriously. Take my wife.
Love her to death. Love her to death. Wouldn't be where I'm at without her. Keep me out of. She just kept me out of trouble. She stopped me from doing some stupid shit when we first got together. So yeah, but big 20 years, bro. You have those moments.
Um, I don't know for sure.
Oh,
Mr. Douglas O'Shea
oh,
might have been
Dougie.
listening for a second because he claims that Logan Paul is a wrestler, and it's a fact.
Well, Doug is a wrestler, so if he says it, then I mean he's wrestling on TV. He's a wrestler. He's a
I don't. I don't
YouTuber.
think he. I don't think any of us ever said that Logan Paul's not a wrestler. Now we'll throw out the YouTuber thing because that's a fact as well. He's a YouTuber, also. He's an influencer. That doesn't mean he can't be a wrestler too, though.
I would give him his credit. He's a wrestler. I mean, hell, I mean, you can't if you're saying Logan Paul is not a wrestler at this point. I don't know. You're the pure definition of a hater. I'm just saying. I'm not even a
I,
Logan Paul fan, but I mean,
haters.
I cannot call him a wrestler. Can I just say one thing though? And then we gonna wrap this up because yeah, I'm about to enjoy my vacation. Um, and apparently I've been told this now. I have to get my shots in an AEW on every show, some way, somehow. Even when I'm being nice, I'm taking a shot. So I'll accept that. That's me. That's my part of the show. That's what I contribute to this
So
show. Hey,
I'm sorry, you said someone said that to you? That you make
yes.
a point to take shots at them whenever oh, would it be someone that we know or just the occasional fan out there that might be listening to us?
One occasional someone we know.
Oh,
So anyway, I'm sitting here and I'm watching, battle. What's this battleground
yeah,
NXT,
Battleground.
and we saw Saturday night's main event last night, Raw, SmackDown. WWE has taken several AEW former roster holders, people who are on the AEW roster in the last 12 months. And when I say people, I'm talking Ricky Starks, I'm talking Ethan Page, I'm talking Ray Phoenix, I'm talking Penta, I'm talking um um, um this name, I never expected me to say this name.
Are we gonna put Rusev and Black in there as well?
We might as well. Although I don't think Rusev and Black have quite had the impact as a Penta has.
I mean,
But
they haven't been there in as
let's
much stuff yet. So
let's just throw them in there, all right? But then you look at Vikingo, who was on AAA. I mean, what's going
yeah,
on,
Lucha.
Carter? He was on AEW. He made several appearances, and people was like, he come in, he do a show, and he's gone. He hasn't done anything on WWE TV but wave, and more. He's gotten more shine and more rub and gotten more fanfare than anything he's done in AEW. And he actually wrestled on AEW. He's done nothing. He don't even work with WWE. He works with AAA. But since now AAA owns WWE, I mean WWE now owns AAA. He's been on TV twice and did nothing but wave. There you go.
Um, O'Shea, O'Shea rules. You guys think Brock is coming back?
I still think Brock is coming back. I do. I said he was going to be back by Mania, but now that we've seen everything, how everything's playing out, I think Brock is going to come back. And hear me out. I'm not saying I want this to happen, but I'm thinking it might happen. We're going to get the rematch between Brock and Goldberg, because apparently Goldberg has a contract to wrestle one match in WWE for his retirement match. That might be the match.
Please don't put us through that again.
You say that, right? But say that match happens in Saudi Arabia.
I mean, they'll pay for anything they want to see out there, just
Can
just
you?
for the
I
name of the
can't.
show.
We may not want to see it, but have you heard some of these paychecks Saudi Arabia's paying out?
No, I know. I'm not.
Look,
I'm not
look,
talking
I
about
don't
from
give
a
a
pay
damn if anybody
perspective.
wants to see me. You give me $10 million, I'm showing up. I don't give a fuck who don't want to see me.
Yeah, I'm not talking about it from a pay perspective. I mean, we've already seen it twice, and it wasn't good either time. I mean, do you really want to see it a third time?
Circumstances beyond. I think if you,
I don't care what they're getting paid. I
I
ain't
think,
getting paid.
hear me out. I think if you tell them now, and they have a year or 8 9 months to prepare for it and get in shape for it, I don't see why it couldn't be a decent match.
I don't even when he
It's not like
even
these two are jumping off the top rope. Okay,
yeah,
it's too,
but even when Goldberg was in shape, he wasn't going 15, 20 minute matches or anything hardly.
but that's what I'm saying. If you have if you give them time to prepare for it, and they work it out to where, okay, it could be a 15 20 minute match, but they're not going 100 miles an hour. You know what I'm saying? Because Brock has been doing his theater in between moves. Go look at his matches with Roman Reigns. Like, he can squeeze.
Goldberg's gonna come in and spear him 3 times. Brock's gonna do that little
No, I
German
see. That's
suplex
what I
10
think.
times.
I think that's been the problem with the last match they had. They came in and they just boom, boom, boom. Y'all too old to be just coming in hot like that, bro. Like, work up to that. That's my opinion.
And
And the only reason I'm saying this because I'm not a I respect Goldberg. I like Goldberg, but I'm not a Goldberg fan. I'm a Brock Lesnar fan. I'm going Brock Lesnar all day long. So
Ask Bret Hart if he thinks they should have a match.
I just want Bret Hart to remember to brush his teeth. I can't just.
He'd be like, I blame him for ending my career.
Let it go, bro. I mean, Brett. Let it go. Let it go, bro. It's over. Let it go. All right, sir. It's been real. It's been cool. We probably should be back sometime this week. Oh, y'all see the banner up top? It says join the Discord, join the Facebook, YouTube, and all that stuff. We have a Discord. I should pay a lot more attention to it than I do, but I am a father. I am a husband. I have a life. Sometimes things fall to the wayside, but I'm trying to get back on it. So please, the link is down there. Join the Discord. If for some reason the link doesn't work, just put our name in the search bar to come right up.
Now the Discord would be much more easier to keep up with if there was some activity in there. So, like he said, definitely go to the Discord and join up with it. You can link videos in there. You can have personal conversations with each other if you want to. There's voice channels in there.
We did a WrestleMania watch party, and then we're probably going to do a SummerSlam watch party, and we're probably going to do a Survivor Series watch party. So,
yeah,
and that watch party was a good time. So,
yeah, there's some things linked already you can check into and watch, and then link your own stuff as well that you want people to see. So,
yeah, and go back and watch some past videos of YouTube videos and see how we got to this point. So,
yeah.
That being said, thank you, sir. I am Mr. KS. That is my boy Chris, Front Row Wrestling Podcast. We go.